My official prediction is Islam Makhachev. Now, my official method of victory is decision.
Islam Makhachev is breaking his silence, and what he just said about Della Maddalena might shock you. The pound-for-pound king is ready to make history, but first, he has to get past JDM. Here's everything you need to know about Islam's plan, his brutal training camp, and whether he can really dominate at welterweight. So what happened when Islam came face-to-face with Jack for the first time? Everyone wanted to know if the size difference bothered him, or if Jack's energy got under his skin, but Islam kept it ice cold. He said the stare-down meant nothing to him and that he's locked in on one thing only: winning this fight and proving he belongs at 170 pounds.
Yeah, when I face with the Jack, I see we same size, and I don't think I'm like small for the welterweight. I did my program very well, gain weight, and ready.
Yeah, what did you take away from the face-off with Jack and seeing him for the first time?
I've seen him before in Perth also. Nothing, just see his face, I don't see nothing from the eye. Somebody asks you what you see in his eye. I just see the eye.
But here's where things get interesting. When asked about his training camp, Islam didn't sugarcoat anything. He said his game plan is solid, but this camp has been absolutely brutal. In fact, he called it one of the hardest and most draining camps he's ever been through. So if this fight is pushing Islam to his limits before it even starts, what does that mean for fight night?
Do you think you're going to need to go to all those game plans, or do you think plan A is going to work?
I hope I don't need the second plan. The A is going to be work.
It seems.
But if not work, we're training so hard, and anything can happen inside the cage, but I will be ready.
Yeah, it seems like it was a hard camp. You've had black eyes for a long time now. Is that a sign of how difficult this training was?
Yeah, honestly, it's the hardest camp in my life. I start like 3 months before, and it was a very hard camp.
Now here's what the experts are saying. Chael Sonnen jumped into the conversation and admitted something most analysts won't. He changes his mind during fight week. Listening to guys like John and Nick and Anthony Smith makes him second guess his picks. And if even Chael is uncertain about this one, this fight is going to be wild, and anything can happen.
This is why it's important. I'm letting you know, my prediction is already done. My prediction is already in. Guys, I'm not sure I'm standing with it. And one thing that does happen to me, I think this happens to a lot of people, but I'm susceptible to it as well, which is I can get influenced by others on fight week. I can come out with my opinion, and then I can get to the actual venue. And then that's where I run into John Anik, and hey, what do you think's going to happen here? Maybe he says something that surprises me. And then I go grab Anthony Smith. Hey, Anthony, we're riding in the car going to do so. Hey, what do you think?
But Chael didn't stop there. He went ahead and made his official prediction for the fight. He broke down how he thinks it'll go and talked about why he respects Jack so much. He even told the story of how Jack got the nickname JDM and why he's been impressed with him from day one. The question is, will respect turn into regret if Jack pulls off the upset?
My official prediction is Islam Makhachev. Now, my official method of victory is decision. Very difficult time thinking that Islam could finish Jack. I have too high of a respect for Jack. I remember the first time, I remember being the one that brought him to you guys. And he got brought to me by my producer, Ryan Parsons. Hey, you see this guy? And Ryan married a gal from Australia, so he loves Australia. But when he sees this Australian fighter, he's like, Chael, you got to see this guy, Jack Del Maddalena. We didn't know how to say Jack Del Maddalena. So we're the ones at Bad Guy Inc. that named him JDM. We're the ones that did that.
Then Chael dug deeper into what makes this fight so dangerous for both guys. He said Jack's striking could give Islam real problems, especially since fighters sometimes perform way beyond what people expect. But Chael also pointed out Islam's grappling advantage. The thing is, this isn't just striker versus grappler. Both of these guys bring serious threats, and one mistake could end the fight in seconds.
Jack can beat Islam. That Jack that Belal Muhammad had to face not only can beat Islam, he will beat Islam, but I don't know if that Jack can repeat himself, right? I mean, there's times in your career where you fight outside of your gloves. There's just times where, for whatever reason, and you don't know, and your coaches don't know, and you do your best to recreate that evening. That's the evening that Jack had when he became the world champion. That Jack can beat Islam. But I think that Islam can drag him down and Islam can get on top of him enough. I also think that the idea that if they're standing up, it's Jack, and if they're on the ground, it's Islam.
So how is Islam even preparing his body for this jump to welterweight? Reporters had to know, and Islam opened up about it. He's been packing on size and strength, and he specifically mentioned using creatine to help with recovery and weight gain. Here's what he said. People say he's taller, but I see the same size. I'm not small for welterweight. I've gained weight and become a big guy. I started using creatine properly every day. It helps a lot with recovery and weight gain. Now let's see what the bigger picture looks like. Luke Thomas jumped in with his take on what happens if Islam wins. He said this isn't just about one fight. It could change the entire welterweight division. A win here could shake up the rankings, change future matchups, and set the tone for 2026. Islam isn't just fighting for a belt, he's fighting for control of an entire weight class.
What is it going to mean if Islam wins and now you add him as like a permanent fixture, or at least a semi-permanent fixture in this division? To me, there's this big argument all the time. What's the best division in the sport? You can make it now already, but I think after Saturday, it's going to be very, very clear. 170 is the division of kings, and we're in for a great 2026 if these guys can stay healthy and stay active.
Luke also broke down what will actually decide this fight. He said striking in MMA is unpredictable, so the real question is whether Islam can mix his grappling and striking together. If Islam can control when the fight goes to the ground and stay dangerous on the feet, Jack might not have an answer. But if Jack keeps it standing, things could get scary for Islam real fast.
JDM can handle the grappling of Islam, or whether Islam can get the better of him on the feet in this matchup?
The first. Could Islam get the better of him on the feet? Of course. I mean, they're wearing small gloves. There's a lot of things moving different directions. It's MMA. It's wild. It's chaotic. Absolutely. But really, it comes down to Islam being able to mix the game up. Can he or can't he? And if he can, to what extent and where, and what does it yield? That's where this fight is won and lost. That is where everything happens. Because if it's just straight up, if I told you Islam can't get him down and can't hold him for any meaningful time against the fence, that would make the pick relatively easy. You would just pick JDM. But we don't know if that's the case, and we don't know to what extent it will be the case, even if it's at least somewhat true. That is the main focus of this fight.
But gaining weight is one thing, having a plan to win is another. Islam didn't hold back when talking about Jack's style. He gave credit where it's due, saying Jack's striking is legit, but then he dropped the hammer. He said Jack's grappling isn't on the same level, and that's where Islam plans to take over. His strategy is simple: take Jack down, control him, and finish the job on the ground. Here's exactly what he said. Jack has good striking. His strength is his stand-up. His grappling is not great, not a huge weakness, but not a strong point. I will try to take him down, hold him, and finish on. And this fight isn't just about one night for Islam. He opened up about what becoming a double champion would mean to him. He said no one from his country has ever done it, and it would cement his legacy forever. But he's not just thinking about winning the belt. He wants to defend it too. Here's what he said. Becoming a double champion means a lot. No one from my country has done it before. It's important for my legacy, and I really want to win and defend this belt. So now let's talk about what Islam's been doing in the gym to make this happen. New training footage just dropped, and fans are getting a real look at how intense his camp has been. The clips show his drills, his conditioning work, and his sparring sessions. Everything looks sharp, everything looks focused. The question is, will it be enough when Jack is standing across from him?
Сам второй вопрос. Как проходит подготовка? Что нового в этой подготовке у тебя?
Все было
Чем
нормально.
отличается?
Пока ты не приехал 2 дня назад, я начал отвечать.
Нормально отвечай. Давай.
Чем мне отвечать?
Jean-Bernard Kyus also weighed in, and he's rolling with Islam too. He gave Jack credit for winning the belt and getting to the top, but he said Islam's strength, size, and conditioning are on another level. Islam squats 160 kilos and goes hard in grappling sessions with Khabib. That kind of physicality could be too much for Jack to handle.
Okay, and the main event, the one that everyone is here for, Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. Nick, it pains me to say it, I'm going with Islam. And that's not a knock on Jack. Jack has done an unbelievable job to get to the top of this division. He's the reigning champion. But I just look at Islam's build. The guy's squatting 160 kilos. Everyone in his camp, from Javier Mendez to Khabib, saying he's bullying everyone. He's fit as he can be.
Luke Rockhold came out and said that Islam bullied him when they were grappling. So the guy's got strength.
I just think it may be a bit too much for Jack. And Jack's a great grappler, but I think there's going to be a big difference between Bilal and Islam.
Nick Kyus broke down how he sees the fight playing out. He thinks Jack will put up a tough fight, but Islam's grappling will control everything. Islam will keep shooting for takedowns, dominate on the mat, and make Jack work like crazy just to get back up. Nick's picking Islam by decision. A close one, but Islam will do enough on the ground to get the win, while Jack shows heart and skill the whole time.
You say that because he's all about proving people wrong, but Islam is just such a short price favorite coming into this. And the same way when Ilya went up and everyone was talking about his size, when Volk even went up to face Islam the first time, I don't think size is that big of a factor. I feel
and you saw them facing off. There's not much between them.
Once they put on that size and are accustomed to fighting people, the skill difference that they possess is what kind of carries them through the fight. And look, I feel like the only time where it hasn't really worked out for a fighter was maybe when Izzy Adesanya went up. And that's where the size difference kind of was a massive advantage.
And Volk in the second fight.
That was a short notice. We don't count that. But look, I really want to back the Aussie here. I do feel like Jack's going to put on a really good show. I don't see Islam getting the finish like some people are saying. But if I feel like it does go to a decision fight, Islam's going to probably edge it out in the decision, because if he does dominate the grappling exchanges, yes, Jack can get back to his feet, but he's got to really outstrike him when he gets back to the feet. And if Jack doesn't do that, I just feel like Islam's going to keep shooting. He's going to do what Merab does, keep shooting, try and control him on the ground, and then just edge out a short decision victory.
Dricus Du Plessis also gave his thoughts, and he didn't hold back. He said he loves watching Jack fight. He's calm, smooth, and always fun to watch. Jack's handled tough wrestlers like Bal and trained his anti-wrestling with Craig Jones. DDP said Jack is strong and works hard, but when he looks at Islam's resume and his pound-for-pound status, it's hard to bet against the champ.
I mean, this fight is truly one of those fights where your heart says something but your mind says something else. I love Jack Della. I think he's an incredible fighter. I love watching him fight. He's always entertaining. He goes through these wars, and his style, he just has this nonchalant, let's do this. He's very calm, very relaxed. He can go to distance. We've seen that. How good he did against Bilal was incredible. I mean, Bilal is really good wrestling, especially when he's enforcing his plan. And Jack Della didn't care. He has that anti-wrestling working with Craig Jones, and it's been so effective. But that being said, if you look at his opponents versus Makhachev's opponents.
But DDP kept it real. He said he's a fan of Jack's style and personality, but he just can't pick against Islam. He thinks Islam will handle the weight jump without any problems and stay in control the whole fight. Islam's experience, discipline, and preparation give him the edge. DDP believes Islam will make history as a double champ, but he also respects what Jack brings to the table and knows it won't be easy.
Makhachev has beaten the who's who. He is where he is, and he was pound for pound for very long. Pound for pound king for a very good reason. People think Jack Della is going to be bigger. I don't think so. I've now lately seen, and that's why they did such a long camp, to pick up that weight correctly. And he looks big, and he looks thick, and he looks strong. I mean, no doubt, he's a hard worker. But this one, I think, with Jack Della, I love his style, I love him, I like his personality. I would love for him to win that belt, but unfortunately, I cannot go against Makhachev in this one. I think he is just so good. I think he's so good, and I don't think he's going to give up anything going up a weight. I think he's going to be great at that weight, to be honest.
But while Islam's grinding in the gym, Jack isn't sitting quiet either. He just posted a video showing off the UFC welterweight title, reminding everyone who the real champion is. This is his belt, his division, and he's not planning to hand it over to anyone. The tension is building, and both fighters are ready to prove they're the...
Islam is a completely different challenge, different, more of a finishing ability, more powerful on the feet. So yeah, different challenge, and I'm excited for it.
Best Islam also sat down with Daniel Cormier and got real about how pumped he is for this moment. He said this is the biggest card of the year, the biggest arena, and the most important fight of his entire life. But here's the part that might surprise you. Islam said he's ready to strike with Jack. He's not just going to wrestle. Here's what he told DC. Happy, biggest card of the year, best arena, biggest fight of my life. Very excited and really happy. And when it comes to his striking, Islam made it clear. Fighting a wrestler against a boxer, I will strike. I can strike with anyone. I struck Dustin with a fight with Volkanovski. I'm not just a wrestler, I'm the best MMA fighter. So here's the bottom line. Islam Makhachev isn't just focused on one fight. He's building a legacy. His strategy against Jack, his strength and size gains, and his dream of double champ glory show just how serious he is. The analysts think Islam's grappling and ability to mix everything together will be too much, but Jack's striking, his toughness, and his championship experience make him a real problem. This isn't just about one night, it's about who controls the welterweight division and who leaves a mark in UFC history. Who's walking out with the belt? Islam with his grappling and double champ dream, or Jack with his striking power and champion's mindset? Drop your prediction in the comments right now.